What's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm gonna be giving you part 13 of What If Naruto Awakened the Yellow Rinnegan after his exile. Remember to get this one to 200 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also link will be down in the description for Anime King. I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was blamed and it changed him, guys. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 3, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what do you guys say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last spot we left off. At the village, as Jiraiya was still in the hospital, Snad and him was discussing whether to tell the members of the council about the location where Jiraiya found Naruto. Snad was against it at the moment though. Jiraiya was also against it even though the kid beat the absolute shit out of him. Naruto did not kill him and he had the opportunity to. He knew that there was still the old Naruto in there waiting to be rescued, as he would find a way to bring him back. He would find a way to do something to snap Naruto out of this state that he was going down. And he also need to find out about Konan as well, as he wondered if Nagato and Yaiko was alive. If Nagato was alive, was he the one teaching Naruto to control his Rinnegan? We then had a time skip as Snady was talking to the members of the council. She told them about Naruto heritage. They were shocked to hear that Minato was the boy's father, as most of them could not believe it. But Danzo was against giving Naruto anything. The boy attacked one of their fellow shinobis and came to their home without authorization. Not to mention he was banished. He should not receive a thing. Even Shikaku was with Danzo at the moment. Giving Naruto that amount of money would seem like a threat being posed on the hidden leaf by the Akatsuki, and they appeal to the threat so easy to make the other villagers think that they are weak at the moment. So Snady decided that she would not hand out anything yet. But at the moment now they knew that Naruto was the son of Minato. Hinata for one instant was straining. She was taking things a bit too far when she was faced off against Hanabi, as her father had to stop it. She asked if she could be excused as she made her way off, as her heart felt completely shattered after meeting Naruto and hearing him say that to her. They could not be together. At Uza, as Naruto was walking around, the people here see him as their savior, the one to bring them all back and reunite their clan. Everyone here loved him. Even the elders that Naruto was supposed to be looking up to all see the boy as a messiah coming to bring them all and bring the Uzumaki back to what it once was. As Naruto had found out about Madara, as Konan was at his home, he asked Konan to stay here, but she had to be with Nagato. She had to be by his side. Naruto was also thinking about Nagato and the predicament that he was currently in at the moment. But he was also thinking about Madara as well. They should just kill him. The man served no purpose now. Naruto knew that the man would want something, just helping them that easily without wanting anything in return. Yes, that was stupid. He must want something. And Naruto felt like he wanted not the same goal that Nagato wanted. So with that, another tail beast was captured, but Sorcerer was killed, allowing Tobi to take on their partner at the moment. But Kisame and Itachi was near, towards capturing their other Jinchuriki, so Pain decided to call off the ceiling for now, as he sent Naruto to go and capture the Seven Tails, seeing that Kakazo and Hidan was dead. So with that, Konan told Nagato that she was leaving. Nagato saw that Konan had become, well, rather sticking to Naruto lately. Naruto could handle the Seven Tails himself, but Konan insisted on being there, as he hoped this would not be a problem if anything to arise in the future. After getting the location from Zetsu, making his way towards Taki along with Konan, Naruto destroyed a large cave and made his way in without going through any waterfall, as he was instantly surrounded, him and Konan, by the members of Taki. But after seeing him, they started to fear. Rumors has been going around about the Akatsuki member with blonde hair and those yellow eyes that destroy Kiri, as most of them were saying give over a demon to him. Naruto was disgusted by these people, not to mention that Kiri had tried to play with the big dogs by joining in on the alliance to wipe out Uzo so long ago. So now, they will feel the responsibility of their ancestors. So yeah guys, that's basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the place to check out for yourself. So what is be in this new episode? For all of her life, she was nothing but a weapon for as long as she could remember. At the moment, Fu was making her way towards the disturbance in her village. That is what she was trained for in the first place, to protect the village even at the cost of her life. Fu hated these people, but if she didn't do her absolute best, they will make it hell for her. At the moment, she had on a black collar around her neck. It looked like a normal choker, but it was a collar, inscribed with so much seals. She could not break it. Not following their rules, with cause, the man that was currently training her to activate the seal. Despite having the bijou, it was immense. The pain was unbelievable. Her body would shake for hours upon end, even twitching after he finished a long time ago. So that is why she was making her way to defend the village, even though Fu, if it was up to her, would never risk her life for this village, not even one bit. Growing up, it was the same. She was locked away in a cell. She was fed, but the food was disgusting. Nothing ever on the level of being even remotely nice. Doing a simple mistake, not channeling enough chakra, failing to complete what they gave her the task to do, failing a mission with cause her being electrocuted. Whenever she went on missions with her teammates, she didn't really have a special team. It was just her being passed along through different teams. They were also given the controller for the sealer on her neck, misbehaving even when she didn't do anything at most times. Just because they want to see the demon suffer, they electrocuted her. And reporting back in, they told that she did something wrong on the mission. She couldn't even tell that it was a lie. Trying to open her mouth would result her getting slapped across the face. She wasn't supposed to interrupt when they were talking. She didn't have any right. That was what they drilled into her for her entire life. She never knew her parents. The only thing she knew growing up was that she was a weapon to protect the village at all costs. Even if it cost her life to do so, she was protect the village no matter what, or she will suffer the consequences. As Fu quickly made her way towards the scene, she was flying above. The collar on her neck stopped her from flying too far up so that she could leave the village. Flying too far would be a result of her being electrocuted to the point of her passing out and waking up, being strapped down and relentlessly beaten for trying to escape the village. So she just took it. She no longer cried out in pain. She no longer smashed, she no longer laughed. She was just a weapon to be used. And she followed that regime. Even years had passed, never breaking one single oath. Even when they tortured her for absolutely no reason, she never cried. That took the fun out of it for them. Most of the team members that got her in their team, so they didn't bother with her, just using her to do most dangerous missions, always giving the S and A rank missions, nothing less than that. Her life was merely a piece of garbage to them, something they can sacrifice. As Fu looked down towards the enemy, she had been told about the Akatsuki, that they would be coming for her one day, and she should do everything in her power to stop them from destroying the village. And any property destroyed would be her fault because they were here for her, and she would pay 1 hour with each property destroyed of pure punishment if she did not stop them quickly enough. Fu went through hand sign in mid-air as she had to do something. Despite acting and shutting off her emotion at the point, the torturing was unbearable. She stopped herself from screaming, but that didn't mean that all the pain and suffering was not bottling up inside of her, and sometimes she just nearly explode because of all the pain. After finishing her long set of hand signs, she opened her mouth. A glitter of dust filled the entire area. It was bright, extremely bright to the point where all of the shinobis from Taki had to close their eyes. Konan even had to close their eyes as well, as the place was illuminated in a bright flash. Fu shot down, going towards the one that seemed to be the most threat right now, as Fu landed right in front of Naruto. Fu has been trained excessively. Her body has been pushed to a state of pure physical taijutsu, where she could manage weights that were beyond what most ninja can do in their life. Given the access strength that belonged to the Nanabi, her muscles have increased to the point where she can use a single hit to break someone's skull. That was how strong she was. After years of intense training, her limbs were powerful. She was going to use that now at her full disposal. Fu swinged her leg through mid-air to take care of this one quickly. Her feet was coming directly towards Naruto to crush him. But Fu was not prepared when something stopped her leg. A strange invisible force. Before she knew it, her body was picked off the ground and thrown. Her eyes widened and she couldn't stop it as she bricked through several holes before coming to a stop. Her jutsu finally cancelling, ninjas opened their eyes to look around. What the hell just happened, one of them asked. It's a demon, another one shouted. Look what she's done! Despite the situation of Naruto being there, the people are still blaming her. She's destroying our home! We should just let him take her and go. She doesn't belong here, she's just a demon. Why should we risk our home for her? Despite their comments, Fu got to her feet. Naruto ignored them as he looked towards Fu. You're the Jinchuriki, he said. So, I'm guessing that they're here for me, said Fu. Naruto simply nodded. I knew that you were coming, and I was prepared. You will not win, she said, as she went in a fighting stance. Naruto stepped forward. The shinobis around hesitating to even attack him. After hearing what he did, hey, let him fight her. Probably they will end up killing each other, another one said, as information was passed on. The Taki ninjas all stepped back, and then we'll take care of that other woman over there. She doesn't look that tough, they muttered to themselves. Fu ignored their chattering as she looked towards Naruto. You aren't going to talk. Tell me to give up before it gets worse. No. If you will give up and come with me now, you're right, it won't get worse. But I know that Jinchurikis like yourself are stubborn, always wanted to protect their village, despite how the village may treat them. Well, I have to, she said, as her hand subconsciously reached up towards her neck where the choker was. Before she shot forward once again, Naruto's eyes focused towards her limb. Chakra was being charged in them. A massive amount, and chakra was stable and fluent. It was her own chakra, she was not using Nanabi's chakra. Ducking under the hit, her feet fly over his head with such force the ear seemed to ripple after it. She twisted her leg and brought it down, forcing to step back, as the ground cracked and cratered under her feet. Naruto raised a single hand. Fu was ready this time. Well, she thought she was. As she prepared herself for the attack, but she could not stop it. Another force smashed into her. She was sent sailing across the village, before slamming hard into the tree. Fu felt her back ache in pain as she groaned. What the hell was that? She thought to herself. She looked over as usual, none of them were helping her. She slowly got to her feet. As she started channeling the Nanabi's power, she had to stop him before he destroyed anything else. It will be on her, whether she loses or not. She focused, but Naruto's eyes wasn't looking at her. Conan's watching the entire interaction, as she was making sure to watch Naruto back from the above. Naruto's eyes were focused on the giant tree behind Fu. What the hell is this? Naruto felt a strange source of chakra inside a tree. Something unnatural. Something dark. Something strange. Fu shot forward, not wasting time, as her body was literally gliding off the ground. Using a mixture of wind chakra, Fu was able to glide, streaking in the air even though she could fly. This was quite different, streaking towards him at tremendous speed. But Fu didn't get close as something lashed out towards her. She twisted mid-air though. As she was aerial, she flipped around him and landed a brutal kick on his shoulder. Well, she tried to. Her leg was grabbed by something. A tail? Before she knew it, she was slammed into the ground, her body cratering it. Fu had enough. An explosion of power came from her body, as a tail erupted from her as well, as a cloak came around her body. But to her surprise, it was drained away within a second into that tail. She was confused before she was tossed as she smashed into another house. The people started to curse at her, even though she was trying to protect them. Even the civilians were cursing. Most of them were not running. Naruto stepped towards a tree, when suddenly a ninja landed right in front of him, followed by two others. You, a Akatsuki member. You're here for the demon, aren't you? Fu groaned as she picked herself up slowly. Why? Are you attacking my village? You seem to be after something else. You people are disgusting, said Naruto. That is why I'm destroying your village. As he started to walk once again. But I'm curious though. What is this tree? Shibuki looked at him. This is something that belongs to Taki and doesn't concern you. I suggest you leave before I release the full force on Taki and you. Naruto simply chuckled a bit. Send them all. You'll be just sending them to your graves. Shibuki tensed. This was definitely one, alright. Those golden eyes with a golden ear. Yes, and not to mention the tail. This was the description given. He was the one that destroyed Kiri. As Shibuki looked over at his commander, this man was in charge. He had an X across his chin. He was in charge of the demon. He was in charge of training her to make her stronger. Shibuki was cursing his mind right now. After all that time training her, she was not able to even protect the village against his Akatsuki member. Naruto started to walk once again. Fu shot towards him. Shibuki was here now. She had to show that she was risking her life for the village, or she would be punished so badly. But Naruto turned towards her with a single glance. Something unnatural happened when Fu slammed into the ground. All the gravity seemed to increase in her body. Fu felt like she was being held down. But despite that, she started to struggle to get back to her feet, showing her strength. Naruto's eyebrow rose. She was strong. Before his other eye pulsed, another force smashed into her, forcing her face into the earth. As she lay there, unable to move by the sudden weight gain, Naruto continued to walk. Shibuki jumped up in the air and went to hand sign, water style, water dragon jutsu. A massive water dragon rose out of the lake and came towards Naruto who was still walking. The water dragon was simply absorbed before it could even reach him, the chakra out of it as the water spattered the ground harmlessly. The commander threw several kunas and shurikens towards Naruto with explosive tags on them. Everything was blown away, causing the explosion to ignite prematurely, detonating close to him, but he was able to jump away. The other one fired off several jutsus, but all of it was in vain. Naruto made his way towards a large tree. What is this? Extending his hand, there was a spark. As he touched it, Naruto's entire body shimmered. A strange golden light exploded from his eyes. The golden light surrounded his body before exploding. Shibuki, the commander, all leaped. Fu was able to jump away as well. Seeing that, the force had been lessened off of her. As Naruto lost concentration for the moment, Konan's eyes went wide at the explosion, forced her to fly back though, as the force blew away several houses. But the tree stood tall. Once the explosion died down, Naruto was standing there, eyes closed. Konan flew as fast as possible. Naruto, she said, she landed beside him. She placed a hand on his shoulder. Naruto, are you okay? Naruto turned towards her, his eyes were unfocused. They looked like they were peering right into her soul. The Jubi. Destroy. Everything. All perish. Split the earth. Nations. Tremble. Oceans drink. Destruction. Mass genocide. Population. 0. Naruto said Konan. Naruto blinked. What the hell? What's going on? He asked. I should be the one asking you that. What? Are you alright? She asked. Yeah, I'm fine. What just happened? I don't know, you touched a tree and you kept on mumbling something about mass genocide, destruction, and Jubi. Naruto stood there confused. As he looked around, there was a massive crater where he stood. What was that a moment ago? He saw something strange. A beast with 10 tails ravishing the place. He didn't know why he knew this, but this tree was connected to that very beast that he saw. But what the hell was that? He stepped back away from the tree. He didn't know what this was, but it felt like that's been here for centuries now. That couldn't be possible, right? What was this? Fool, seeing that he was distracted, wasted no time. As Naruto was indeed distracted, his mind comprehending on what just happened. Conan turned right in time though, but before Fu could land a punch on her, Fu dropped to the ground crying out in pain as symbols appear and a choke around her neck. She screamed out in pain and agony, unable to move as the commander kept his hand firm. Enough, demon, he said. Shibuki got to his feet as well. Take her and go, said Shibuki. You've done enough, as he looked at his home. Yeah, the people behind her cheer. Take her, we don't want the demon. Stop destroying our home. Naruto looked towards the commander. He raised his hand. The man didn't know what happened, but he was yanked off his feet so quickly, he couldn't even comprehend what happened. A black rod came near the hand as he plunged it right into the man's heart, killing him instantly. Throwing his body to the side, Fu collapsed down, steam coming from her body as she was panting, twitching every few seconds. Naruto walked over as she fell unconscious. Picking her up, Naruto walked towards Conan. Can you? He said. Conan nodded as she created a paper platform as Naruto rests Fu on it. Leave, said Naruto. What are you gonna do? These people are more disgusting than I thought. None of them deserve to live. Absolutely none of them. Hearing that, Conan nodded as she swiftly left. She knew that Naruto wasn't going to leave this place as it was. Seeing one of them leave. What is it now? You have the demon. Take her and go, said Shibuki. Naruto held his hand firm as another black rod materialized in his hand. He then spun around and tossed it. The thing flew through the genjutsu that was covering the village. Flying through the genjutsu, the sky could be fully seen. They were under some sort of veil, and Naruto chakra rod disrupted that. The people all looked up as a bright light rained down on them. It was different from the natural light that they got from the genjutsu. After all, Taki was a secret place. What have you done? Shibuki stepped forward. That's enough. I won't tolerate this anymore. Leave. You've gotten the demon already. Stay here any longer and we will put the full force of Taki against you. And then you won't leave alive. I told you already. You people are disgusting. It doesn't matter what you say or who you are. In fact, you're the disgusting ones going around kidnapping Jinjulkis. And yet you people willingly hand her over. Do you know what the goals of the Akatsuki are? Huh? Of course not, said Shibuki. Then why would you hand over the Jinjulki that we so desperately need? If it saves our village, you can take the demon for all of us here. She is nothing to us. She was just a weapon to be used. Yet you go again running your mouth. Seems you don't understand the situation here. You people are quite disgusting, you know that. You keep on saying that, but I really don't care, says Shibuki. The longer you stay here, longer you'll realize that you won't be leaving. Do you remember Kakazu? Shibuki's eyes widened. How do you... You guys forced him out of the village a long time ago. After you were the ones that sent him to go and attack the first Hokage. And then you... betrayed him. You know that your village is the only one that has a Jinjulki, right? That isn't a minor village. A pathetic place like this. Hoshirama was really an idiot. Just because he feared war with you people, which Konoha could crush within a second, he gave you a Jinjulki because you sent Kakazu after him. And when it was time for Kakazu to be punished, you guys threw him under the bus. Really disgusting, said Naruto. That girl, she's been through a lot. Pain and suffering. You're saying that, and yet you're gonna extract the Biju from her. I suppose I know much better than you guys. Well, it doesn't matter what you think. I know I'm better, said Naruto. Doesn't matter how much of you I kill. It doesn't matter because you people are nothing but scums, cockroaches, that don't deserve to live. At this moment, Naruto was surrounded, all of them ready, bearing their weapons. Come on, sir, give us the order. We can take him. Yes, have a go, said Naruto, raising his voice. But that will just lead you to your death. One move, one single move from any one of you, and I'll show you people what a vengeful god is like. You wanna know why I say vengeful? As Naruto started to leak the malice from his body, most of them started to back away. You people should know something about me. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, he said. Uzumaki? Shibuki stepped back, as he knew about the past. Despite not being born yet, he knew what the village was, well, in, with the other nations. I see you know. A few of the older shinobis knew as well, as he remembered the history of Taki. You people hunted, burned, slaughtered my people. So you want to know why I'm here? It is not just only for the Jinchuriki, but it is for revenge, said Naruto. He then calmed himself like he wasn't even angry, feeling that Konan was far enough. I was planning on trying this. I guess this is the best time. Slamming his hands together, he went through a few hand signs before he stopped. Looking up into the sky, Naruto waited. Seeing Naruto looking up and not focusing, now said Shibuki, as all of them launched weapons and jutsus, but none of them got even close. All of them were blown away from him within a second, but they all stopped. Outside, Konan was a distance away. As Naruto told her to move away, he had something big planned and she knew it. Konan's heart stopped for a split second when she looked up. What the hell? She was confused. Who was doing this? Konan felt something as she looked to see a black rod standing beside her, just floating in mid-air. Was this Naruto? Back inside the village, the ninjas all froze. Was today an eclipse? What was going on? What was this shade? Shibuki took a step back, but that wouldn't help. What is this? He said. He was confused. Naruto wasn't paying any attention though. As Naruto was standing by the tree, his hand pressed on the tree trunk, absorbing the life essence that was inside the tree. Whatever this was, it was ripe with chakra. Whatever the jewelry was, this thing was a spawn, a part of that creature that he saw. He didn't know why, but his serpents were shaking in excitement. These serpents was like an extent of his body, but sometimes it seems like they were alive themselves. That was strange, wasn't it? As they were feasting on the tree was crumbling away, getting smaller and smaller by the second, as a shadow illuminated over Taki. Naruto felt a surge of power that was incredible. His entire body felt flush as the chakra poured into him. He didn't know what this was, but it felt right. It felt like he belonged to him somehow. These eyes, it felt wonderful. He didn't know his eyes were just pulsating with so much power. Once finishing, the tree was nothing more than a shriveling whelp. As Naruto stepped back, the shinobis were on their knees. Is this the power of a god? Said Shibuki, shaking in fear. The stench of pee could be smelled, as many of them couldn't reach the shinobis pissed their pants. Looking up at the massive meteor coming down from the sky, many of them placed their hands together. Release! Release! Trying to break the genjutsu, but it was not. Meanwhile, in Konoha, as Taki wasn't so far away from Konoha, skipping over the Fire Nation to the Land of Grass, and Taki was right there in the center. So, the people of Konoha were shaking in fear when they saw something up on the horizon. Something they couldn't believe. Tsunade was up on the roof, along with Jiraiya, who was still wrapped up in bandages. The both of them were silent. Jiraiya looked towards a meteor hurling towards Taki's location. The Envoy commander was there beside Tsunade, along with a few others. Even Danzo had made his appearance looking towards the meteor. The whole world seemed to be quiet at that moment. Everywhere that could see this meteor was quiet. Everyone was just still. Sakura, all of them were just quiet at that moment. Sasuke, who was not too far, currently, beyond the land of grass, in the border of land of bears, saw the meteor. What the hell is that? Says Shigetsu, as he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Jugo and Sasuke were quiet, along with Gurren. Yukimura was somewhere safe. Once Sasuke dealt with what he wanted, Gurren could be free and do what she wanted. But she lost the match, so she had to work for Sasuke now. She was quiet. Jugo. Yeah, I'm on it. Sasuke wasn't one to be feared quickly, or to cower, but he wanted to know what was responsible for that. Jugo could talk to the bird so he could find out. And Sasuke intended to know what the hell was going on. Tsunade looked towards the Anvu. Get me a Hyuga. She was going to send out a Hyuga in the Anvu team. They weren't supposed to go anywhere near Take, but she wanted to see if the Hyuga can spot anything to see if this is related to Naruto somehow. For some reason, it just struck her core that this belonged to Naruto, that he was the one doing this. But could Naruto really possess power like this? This was the power of gods. How could this even be possible? At Take, Naruto looked towards Shibuki. I hope you die a miserable, disgusting death like the cockroach you are. Before Shibuki could say anything, Naruto was gone, a black rod remaining where he was. Before the black rod turned into dust, Konan jumped when she heard his voice. She was so focused on that stone, she wasn't even paying attention. As Fu was still passed out that she was on the paper float, it then dropped. The entire section shook as the meteor dropped into Take. It destroyed the very landscape of the border. The massive stone blocking off all trade routes. Anyone that was passing the area was squashed to death. Trees level, house crushed, valleys crumble, water sources depleted. Buildings crushed under the massive weight as the meteor crashed down to forever be a monument of what transpired that day. Konan turned towards Naruto with a shocked look on her face. What's wrong? How did you do that? From what she knew, Nagato didn't have the power to do anything like that. Well, seems I'm different from Nagato, he said. Wait, is this another form of the Shibuku no Tensei, she asked. As she knew about Nagato planetary devastation, but he was never able to pull something like that from the sky ever. Yes, but something far stronger. But this is not used for a ceiling, said Naruto. Konan was shocked. Your eyes really are amazing, she said. As Naruto looked at her. Oh, so you like my eyes? I don't mean it that way, she said. This display power. This is something, power that belongs to gods, Naruto. Do you understand how powerful you are? You're acting like I'm a spoiled, naive child, said Naruto. Of course I do. But that's... Konan looked towards the meteor. She shook her head. It's incredible. Are you gonna check if there's any survivors? Well, if they are, said Naruto, I don't really care. If they want to tell, they should go and tell. This will make the world to understand what power I possess, to make them not try anything stupid. Come on, let's go. Konan, watch him go. How powerful was he? If Nagato and he wants to fight again. She wasn't so sure that Nagato would remain on top. The last time they fought, Naruto was inexperienced with his Rinnegan, and he was still able to defeat so much of Nagato's path, only leaving the path and Tendu. Now, he was so much more powerful, beyond what he was before. Yes, she was sure if they were come to blows, Naruto will definitely defeat Nagato. That was something she never wanted to happen, the reason being, she had to stay by Nagato's side. Would she abandon Naruto? Would she abandon these strange feelings that she's been feeling so far? Would she leave him and join Nagato's side? if they were ever going to switch sides. Hey, you coming? Yes, she said. She flew towards him. Conan looked towards him. Naruto smiled as he looked back towards her. You know, keep looking at me like that, and I'll start to think that you're into me. Would you ever betray us? Asked Conan. Well, that was random, said Naruto. What are you talking about? I'm asking you a question. Would you ever betray us? Me? Let me think, said Naruto. Given that all we've been through, you know that I come to think that you're a special part of my life. Even more so than Nagato, even though he's a part of my clan, said Naruto. Why is that? She asked. I told you we're teammates. Being together for so long on the road, it's just different. It's like having someone with me that knows me, you know? After all, being alone, by yourself, that would be, well, bad. So I'm happy you're here. You still didn't answer the question. Would you betray me? Never, said Naruto. Now come on. What's with their weird questions? Conan watched him fly off once again, as she felt her heart speeding up just looking at him. He was just something else. Time skip. A few days later, the Tishikage was currently sitting down in his office. Indeed, a few members, a handful, had survived from Take. Yes, only a few. They had used jutsu to tunnel underground. After all, Take had a massive tunnel system. Some of them were able to enter, and that spared their life. But there's only a handful of them, so that was not enough. Nowhere enough for them to call themselves a village once again. But Shibuki, the leader, and many others had died in the process. But the news was quickly spread, as those members were there when they heard the name. Naruto Uzumaki. He was going after the people that helped destroy the Uzumaki clan. As for the Elemental Nation, it didn't take long for news to spread. So news was quickly spread about the destruction and who had caused it. And about the name as well. At the moment, we had Tishikage in his office. Hey, Gramps, you okay? Yes, I'm fine. He looked towards Kurosaki who was sitting there. You're worried, aren't you? Worried? Why would I be, he said. After all these years, I'd never seen you look so intent on something before. This person, whoever he is, Naruto Uzumaki, he's gonna be coming here soon, isn't he? Can we handle something like that? It won't come to that. Aye. We'll find a way to dispose of him before it comes to that. Do you even know where he is? At the moment, no. But still, I won't allow the village to be destroyed. But Gramps, that meteor, the reports had brought back the findings. You saw the photographic evidence. That's a meteor. There's no jutsu on this earth that can blow that thing apart. That will stay there for the rest of time. How are we gonna defend ourselves against something like that? This is not for you to worry, Kurosaki. I'll handle it. I know I said I'll handle it, he said. I need some time, can you please leave? Kurosaki sighed, as he always did when he was worried, making her leave. She left the office, her mind was worried as well. Getting a report, her grandfather always told her everything, as she was shocked to hear this. But inside the office, Oniki was shaking his hand. He was confused. He has been through wars, faced off against powerful enemies, being able to see the likes of man as Madara Uchiha and Hoshirama Senju. But why was this one boy getting him on edge? Was it because of what he felt at the moment? Was this true fear or something? That was weird. That meteor put Oniki and many people in this world, yes, off balance. The power balance has shifted. For one boy to be able to possess power like that was beyond anything. Oniki was sure that a meeting would be soon called, and if it was not, he was going to call it himself to discuss this problem. After all, Kumo is this boy's problem as well. After some digging, they found out that this boy belonged to Konoha, who was exiled. Well, Konoha must be a part of his list as well. After all, he was exiled from the village. So, it was a target. Kira being wiped out. It was not the Akatsuki gold, it was a boy wiping them out. And now, Taki, who had joined them in the revolution to destroy Uza, Kumo and the stone, they were next. The same thing was going through the Raikage's head. The man was sitting there, but he was not fearing anything at the moment. But the man was on edge. Every little twitch and movements put him on edge. The power that was displayed to call a goddamn meteor from the sky. In histories, he has never saw that before. Power like that to decimate a village in one strike. Even though Taki was a minor village, the entire place was covered. If it wasn't for the underground tunnels, everyone would have been killed. This boy, he's a bigger threat. The Akatsuki's a bigger threat than any of them thought. As he released a long sigh, this was bad. Really, really bad for everyone. At Konoha, Tsunade was sitting in a chair. Sakura was sitting on the couch. Being a student, she had taken the opportunity to speak to Sakura about most things nowadays. As Sakura had a grim look on her face. But, so many people, Sakura said. The Naruto that we know has changed. I don't know what allowed him to change so much, but he has changed. We need to fight. The next time things get out of hand, we can't allow our emotions to cloud our judgment. I'm speaking to both of us. Even myself, I hesitated when going up against him. But next time, we can't afford to not do everything we can to stop him. But Tsunade-sama, no buts. Can't you see what happened? Naruto wiped out the entire village with one attack. Kira was already weakened, and it was seen because of the rebellion. Most of them survived on the rubbles, but this was different. Only a handful, Sakura. Only a handful of people survived the attack. Where did Naruto even get power like that? A meteor. A goddamn meteor, Tsunade said. Her voice sounded joking, but there was no humor, as her eyes did not portray it. Tsunade was shocked. Jiraiya had recuperated. He went out to investigate. Tsunade warned him not to go after Naruto or go near Uza at the moment, giving Naruto time to cool off. After all, the boy was still tense about not knowing that his father was Minato. Tsunade didn't want him to face the same threat, and for once Jiraiya didn't joke around, as he was completely serious. Jiraiya even decided not to go to the Hidden Rain for now. He would delay his trip there, if Naruto was there. The last time, Naruto fought him, but Naruto has shown to not give people remorse nowadays, crushing the entire village with one attack. That was beyond anything Jiraiya thought he was capable of doing and was going to ever do. Meanwhile, at the Hidden Rain, Pain was furious. Not because of Naruto or the situation, but before. Deidara was dead. He fell at the hand of Sasuke Uchiha in the past few days. It took them a longer time than necessary to extract the Bijus, the three of them that they had. Given they had so less members, he warned Itachi and Kisame to look out for Sasuke. Deidara had blown up himself given after Zetsu reports, but the Uchiha had survived. Zetsu said that he was recovered by his friends at the last moment. Seems like the Uchiha was still a problem in the organization, but it doesn't matter. The only thing remaining is the 8 heals, and once that was over, they will have necessary power to create their weapon for him to bring pain to this world, which Kisame and Itachi was currently dealing with at the moment. Naruto was currently at Uza. Pain was shocked to find out that Naruto had a ability like that. He was able to do the Shibuya no Tensei, but this attack was purely devastation. Nothing to be sealed, just pure destruction. Pain had spoken to Konan. Konan was adamant that Naruto would never betrayed him even though he didn't ask. But she was assured that he would never go against him. He was with him to the end. That was kind of reassuring. It seems like she has taken a liking to him, as Nagato had seen it, as she was now visiting Naruto even more, and being at Uzo a lot. Well, if it allowed the both of them to be on good terms, for the Akatsuki to flourish. Because at the moment, Nagato looked at his hand that was out of the mechanical water. He didn't think that he could defeat him, if they were come to brawls. Suddenly, there was a swirling vortex. Nagato looked over as Madara stepped out. A lot has been going on in the past few days. Nagato quickly switched towards the main subject. Have you gotten your friend? As Madara did not tell him who, but someone under Orochimaru's aid has been helping him, and they were going to reanimate the Gold and Silver brothers to get the Chakra of Nine Tails out of them, seeing that they can no longer get it from Naruto. Asking that question, Madara turned towards him. Everything is in session, you don't have to worry. We just have to wait until Kisame and Itachi return with the 8 tails. Once that is over, everything should fall right into plan. But I'm talking about your clan mate. Is he going to stand in our way? Why would you say that? We're all working towards one goal. Naruto will never stand in our way. He's helping us. I don't know. Seems like he is not rational at the moment. When it comes to his clan, or people that is close to him, he tends to lash out. You and I both saw what he's capable of. You claim to be a so-called god, Nagato, but at the current moment I don't think you can even touch that boy. The last time you fought, he nearly destroyed you. Given now, you taught him so much, and his Rinnegan seem to be beyond what you can even grasp. As you can see, those are powers that belong to gods. Going back to the legend of Sage of Six Path, I have the same eyes, yes, but his are more special. But it doesn't matter, as long as you have him under control, we should have no problems, right? Yes, we should have no problems, said Nagato. Well then, I will continue to work on my friend contribution towards the organization. I'll be on my way. With that, he disappeared in a swirling vortex, like he was never there. Meanwhile, at Uzo, Naruto was standing in his bedroom. Looking through the window, Konan was currently talking to Karen. The both of them seemed to get along. Given their different attitudes, it was strange. As they were currently at the medical facility, he didn't know what they were talking about, but he was glad that they were getting along. It was strange for him though. The two girls that he liked. What did he do? At the moment, he didn't even know himself. Naruto turned his head towards the village. Things were going along wonderful. Constructions were coming to an end. The additions were going on well. He has signed up all the papers for the class academy. All the children here wanted to be ninjas. They wanted to be as powerful as Naruto-sama, they say. As Naruto had teachers, enough teachers that can teach Fuinjutsu beyond what anyone can do here. A normal teenager was considered a seal master in the elemental nations that showed their skills at sealing, but Naruto didn't want that to be all they learned. Well, he had enough. There was ninjas here from Uzo, arts in all kinds of nature. Naruto was going to make sure every single student gets focus on. They weren't enough of them, so they can focus on the students and make them as strong as possible, to make them be able to protect themselves. He will not allow his clan kids to die, none of them. He stood there, that sounded really hypocritical. After all, he just dropped a meteor upon a village not too long ago. Kids were surely there. But when Kenny and Hana died, Naruto lost remorse for people that wasn't close to him anymore. Yes, people that he didn't care about. They didn't seem to factor as normal people to him anymore. They were just things in his way. Naruto heard groaning on the bed as he turned. Suddenly, slowly, Orange eyes opened up. He had made sure that she was sleeping until she get back here. and he allowed her time for her body to rest, so she wouldn't have any side effects. Gora was the same. Gora had to stay in bed rest for a long while after what Naruto did to him, and it was the same for her. That is why Naruto allowed her to sleep, so she hadn't wake up the entire time. Orange eyes slowly surveyed the room before they seemed to accept the situation. She figured that she was dead. This was where Jinjulkis go. This was where monsters like her go. But it didn't matter, she was already dead. She didn't have to fear or care about anyone anymore. She can just worry about herself now. At least she was finally out of Taki. Are you feeling okay? Fu eyes widened. Their voice. It was the same. Fu quickly got to her feet. As she saw him, he wasn't wearing the Akatsuki clothing. He was wearing a simple white long sleeve t-shirt with black pants. Bare feet. He was smiling at her, his hair tied up in a ponytail that went down to his back. Fu wasted no time, she shot forward. She clenched her fist. She slugged it right into his face. There was a sizable boom as her fist connected. As her strength had not fully recovered, but she had enough. But Naruto didn't even move. Blood started to drip from his nose, dropping on the carpet. The red carpet, so it wasn't seen much. Fu stepped back in surprise. Why didn't you stop me? She said, confused. She knew he had the power too, but he did not. Naruto wiped his nose. It was definitely broken. His entire face hurt. But he didn't move. Fu watched as he cracked his nose back in place. It seemed to realign before he moved it a bit. Before he turned towards her, he was still smiling. I wanted to show you that you have nothing to fear here. Fu was confused. She realized something as well. She wasn't as strong as before. The Nanabe. She felt for that power, but it wasn't there. She was confused. How am I alive? She asked. I saved you. What? Why? I'm not dead? She thought this was her hell or something, where she had to face this demon that killed her. But she was alive. No, you're not. No, said Fu. She would suffer all over again. She quickly backed up on the bed as she fell on it. She pulled her legs up to her chest, trembling in fear as Naruto stepped forward. She closed her eyes. She couldn't beat him and she knew that, especially now that she didn't have Nanabe anymore. She waited to feel the pain, but a gentle hand landed on her shoulder. She opened her eyes as she saw him, smiling. But guys, if you enjoyed this right here, if you want to think part of this, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications to stay posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.